Looking pretty good here. Let's go ahead and get it started. Let's go! You guys, I'm just gonna do like a quick edit video and chill stream. It's Christmas Eve, I have some video to edit, and it's been a while since I just chilled and showed you guys my editing process. So I thought it would be fun for people who are, you know, aspiring YouTubers to see how I put my videos together. So that's what this stream is going to be about. Welcome everybody. What's up you guys? It's Jonno. Welcome to the live stream. And yeah, we are just going to go through my editing process here, you guys. I am using Camtasia Studio 9. I used to use this software back in the day because it has a screen recorder, alright? Well, let's see, can you see this up here? Alright, that button right there, the record button, I don't know why that's off camera, my thing is edited, or my scene is like cropped in a weird way, but that record button will record your screen, and I do use that thing all the time to record the screen for various purposes. So, it's definitely very, very handy. Alright, you guys, so I got my whole screen shared here, mostly, and I'm gonna go ahead and do some editing for you. So I already offloaded all my footage. I filmed earlier today. I went and did a daily adventure and filmed a bunch of really cool stuff. So now I am going to edit it. I've already put it off of my camera and onto my computer. That's an important part of the process. It takes a little while to offload everything off your cameras. But yeah, we got 36 watching on my editing stream. Thanks for watching, you guys. I knew that there was a lot of people who just wanted to hear from me on Christmas Eve. You know, it is Christmas Eve after all, so I figured I would just go ahead and do some content. So here you go, you guys. This is my files. These are all my files here. Not sure exactly what I'm gonna do with all of them. I got a couple of assets of like screenshots that I sometimes use, but I don't think I'll need them today. And then I've got all of my game footage, alright? And I also need to get wifey's game footage too. She has a little bit of game footage that I might want to use at some point. So, yeah, so what I'm going to do is drop all my files in there one by one. First I do my camera footage because that sets my scene at 4K. It's just a nice little trick that I use to make my scene go to 4K. If I were to drop these files in there first, it would set my scene at the dimensions of those files, and those files are not the dimensions that I want. My video is going to be in 4K, and I happen to film in 4K, so I just happen to be able to drop those files in there, and it makes the scene the correct size that I want it to be. So that's pretty good. In case you guys are wondering, 4K scene size is 3840 by 2160. If you think about it for like 2 seconds, you'd be able to figure out that that is double of 1920 by 1080. Alright, you guys, double 1920 by 1080, so 1920 by 1080 times 2, and you have 3840. So 4K sounds like it would be 4 times bigger. For the longest time I was like, it's 4 times bigger, but it's not. It's just 2 times bigger than 1920 by 1080. Alright, you guys, pretty interesting. And happy Christmas Eve, everybody, guys. Merry Christmas Eve. Alright, a couple people watching on the stream. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you guys are gonna enjoy this. I know I've had so many people be like, Jonno, like you and one other channel were like my inspiration for why I, you know, wanted to do a YouTube channel. And I'm just like, you know what, you guys, that is amazing. And, you know, take it a step further, show you guys how I do what I do. And I think that a lot of people are going to enjoy this content if they're trying to figure out what editor they want to use and all that stuff. So now I have got a bunch of files here on my editor. I've got all of my facecam files here, and then I've got all of my game footage files here. Alright, I'm just gonna work with my game footage files a little bit because there's a couple things I always need to do, which is crop them and make sure that my crops are good. I'm a little bit zoomed out. Honestly, I normally don't edit so far zoomed out, but I had to make my scene size a little bit smaller. But basically what I'm doing is taking the extra off of the sides and then cropping it off and using the edge of my scene for the lock lines. Those lock lines just make it easier. Bike Race King with the first donation to the stream. Hopefully not the last. What up, Jonno? You're telling the people how you edit? Yep, I am. I have actually, this is like episode 22 in my morning coffee series. I am just sitting here drinking my coffee and editing some video. You guys, check out this cool color change. Jonno plays Clash of Clans cup from the old school Clash of Clans days. Oh yeah, I made this myself. I did all the artwork myself. Dude, thank you Bike Race King for the donation. That is so lit. Thank you, bro. But yeah, I think a lot of people, you know, would be curious. A lot of people have said that the previous episodes in this series really helped them, so I decided to do it. Dude, Jeff King with the $20 donation. Dude, right out of the gate, thank you, Jeff. Nice one. He said, Merry Christmas. Thank you so much, Jeff. And Merry Christmas to everybody, too. I wanted to get live today, you know, just to spend some time with the people, you know. It's important, so I wanted to go ahead and do this live stream. I am editing footage of me at the Whalmer nest, alright, you guys? So I was at a Whalmer nest, like, just grinding and grinding and grinding, and you guys, that Whalmer nest was really good to me, so I decided I want to go there in person and take Wifey so she can get a Whalmer. So Wifey need to get a Whalmer. She's like super organic, you know what I mean? So Wifey had to get that Whalmer. I'm like, what did I catch? I caught something the other day. It was, man, what was that? It was 100 something. A Slackoth. Okay, so this footage right here is something else and it doesn't need to be here. I was like, why is that so long? It was really long. Normally they're not that long. Did I get another 100 Slackoth? Or do I just have more footage here? I must have just grabbed another 100 Slackoth randomly. I finally broke down and I was like, you know, I'm just gonna catch a bunch of 100 Slackoths. Like, why am I like punishing myself by, you know, like not catching the hundreds that I want to catch? So I was like, let me just do it. All right, that right there is my first intro footage, and then I got a couple of car clips. So I'm gonna move some stuff around here. Normally what happens here is the clips start to match up. I can see the sizes and they start to match up, and then I can tell which ones were B-roll footage, and then I just grab all my B-roll footage and I move it up, and then I move my regular clips over, and then everything starts to match up. So you can see pretty quickly that that really laid itself out really fast, you know. So they're all the basically the face cam and the walking footage is paired now. You see how it's paired? So I've got face on the left, I've got my footage on the right. Everything's paired because of the way that I edited it. So now we're going to take these B-roll clips and do a little bit more processing on them. I always take off the timestamps just in case I put them in some kind of random order that doesn't make any sense, even though I usually do play them in order. And it's really messing with me on the lock lines here because I'm so far zoomed out. So I'm just gonna change my scene size for a second. Jeez. Alright. Fit. Anyway, I normally edit in this size right here, so you guys actually can't see what I'm doing, unfortunately, but really needed to change it just for a second because it was really hard to edit that one little thing. Anyway, now you can see my clips don't have the top on them, and then what I'm also going to do is shrink these guys down just a little bit and then tilt them just a little bit to the side. You guys know my format, you know, they're all kind of the same. And then I add my behaviors, which is the pop-up, and then I change the, I go here during, alright, during, and I hit 2. Alright, that's the rotation, and that makes it not go so crazy wavy. For some reason it's like super crazy wavy for whatever reason, but then I change it and it's not quite so wavy. Alright you guys, so now I'm really far zoomed out and everything looks like incredibly tiny. I'm going to zoom in a little bit and start to actually mess with some of these clips. And some of this stuff I know needs to get silenced. Like all these ones need to get silenced, so I'm just going to silence those. My scene is like super ugly right now. Okay, there we go. Alright, those need to get silenced. All these B-roll clips need to get silenced. These need to get silenced. That needs to get silenced. This. And all of these need to get silenced. Because I'm going to put music over the top of those. Alright, you guys, pretty easy. Alright, you guys, dude, Jeff with the $20 donation. That was insane. Thank you so much, bro. I'm sorry I'm not really watching the chat, you guys. I will try to watch for donations. Dude, Merry Christmas, Jeff. Merry Christmas. That is a lit donation, man. I get like really focused on my editing, but what I try to do is like little blocks of work. So I'll like do all of one thing and then I'll look back at the chat, and then I'll do all of another thing and then look back at the chat, because what I don't want to do is accidentally forget to do something. Alright, that would be like really bad, and then, you know, when you make errors it's hard to get them corrected. So I noticed that I have like a little tiny like 1 pixel of black on the side of these, so I just want to try and remove that now. Alright, I noticed it on these. It's like 1 little tiny pixel of black on that left side, so I'm just cropping that out because I know it's on all of my clips. And I'm also going to save my file periodically, and that was my very first save. I hit Control S, and realized that I had not saved. So there we go. Now I'm gonna start to move clips around because I know some of the order that they need to go in. For example, I know that I filmed this very last clip right here, intended to be B-roll in between this clip and this clip. Alright, so there's that. Now I got a couple of B-roll clips that I need to move around because I don't want to have two in between these and none in between those, so I have to kind of move those around a little bit. Alright, so, oops. It's hard to move stuff sometimes. Squeeze that guy in there. And I want everything to be butted up like right next to each other, so I just drag it all the way over as far as I can get it. Alright, now it's okay to have a little bit of extra B-roll in the beginning because it gives me something to sort of like run like a little bit of longer music to keep people more engaged. So sometimes I'll do like a really nice long like 40 or like a minute, 40 seconds or like a minute of B-roll after I do my intro and after I do my first little walk around scene, because then it kind of gives people like a lay of the land and kind of see like where I'm at. So I'm probably gonna grab like 1 or 2 extra of these clips that are B-roll clips from back here and move them up here, or I might use one of these clips too. And then I really need to see what I got. I did grab quite a few clips on the way to there. You can see I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clips, and I really don't need that much driving, so I may have to get rid of some of these driving clips, and it's always hard to get rid of something. I liked this scene of driving because it kind of shows you guys like how much work goes into making these episodes. Like I have to drive on the freeway like super far, it's ridiculous like how far I have to drive sometimes, but it's just like, hey, what are you gonna do? Like you want to play Pokemon Go at the nest, you gotta drive over to the nest. That's just how it is. But I mean, that's also part of the reason why I think a lot of kids quit the game, because they just can't get anyone to drive them these places. I'm an adult, I can go wherever I want to go. I have a car, I'll pay for the gas. But it's also kind of like, dang, like everybody who can't play that way, that sucks. But this was kind of an interesting clip, you guys. I'm running on electric right here, electric vehicle, doing 65 on the freeway. I actually did get up to 70 on the freeway, all electric, you guys. And I ran on electric the entire way to the nest, like 15 minutes of freeway travel all the way to the nest. And then on the way back, we did use some gas because I didn't find a place that I could plug in. But basically, halfway an electric trip. And all of our surface street travel was electric because I was driving super slow and trying to get as much charge as I could off of the braking. So, I'm just saying, you guys, electric life, playing Pokemon Go with no gas or as much as possible. But I still put the miles on the car. The miles, wear and tear, stuff like that. It actually does add up. Anyway, you guys, let's keep editing here. I'm like, the reason I bring that up is because I want to use the footage, but I have to cut some footage. I probably should cut some footage, and I'm like, well, if I cut anything, I'll probably cut those two, even though it kind of speaks to my personal life and what I want to put on the channel. But it's also like, well, I don't really have room for it. I got a bunch of really good footage. I know the rest of these clips are actually like way better than that, so I'm kind of like, okay, fine. What is this? Oh yeah, that's Akita. That's Akita. We were there. That's funny. We like looked at it on the way starting the adventure. I'm gonna cut that footage because we ended up going there at the end. So now I have these 2 clips, which is pretty much what I needed. Let's see. I need for this clip, the first one is like my intro clip, and I need it to go until 24 seconds. So what I do is I drop my marker right here at 24 seconds. And then I add clip speed, and then I'll just do like 1.2 and see if it gets me there, and it doesn't get me there, and then I'll go like 1.4 and see if it gets me there, and it's not quite there, and then I'll do like 1.5, and that actually almost got me there. And then at the end of my clips, I usually have to pull the camera back into the window because I can't quite like turn it off, because I'm like holding my camera out the window a little bit. So I can just cut this back, so I can just cut it back with no repercussions. So I'll just grab that little edge right there and cut it back. And I've got a 24-second clip. Alright, I needed that 24-second clip for my intro. Now I can slide these over, and then I'm going to use this one right here, alright, as my next kind of little B-roll clip that kind of shows that we're still driving. And then I'm going to start to sync up my actual footage. So I use a camera that is mounted to my phone case, you guys. It's actually kind of crazy. My phone case has a little mount back there, alright, and then I lock these guys together. I actually was gonna do a video on this and I never got around to doing it for like so long, but just imagine that my GoPro's in there, alright, well, it's just sitting right here. Let me just stick it in there, like, I'm like, if I'm gonna do the demonstration, then I should just do the demonstration. Alright, you guys, so pop the GoPro in there. It's actually fairly simple. That's why I love this camera. It's very small, it's very versatile, and you can mount it in a lot of different scenarios. So I have one hand, you guys, and it's super light compared to like all the other YouTubers. They're always complaining about their arms being tired because their mount is like so heavy and their camera is so heavy. And I'm like, guys, it's a 4K camera. I'm recording in 4K, and all those guys are recording in 1080p and editing in 1080p. And I'm like, you guys, I'm already in 4K. I don't like, where are you at? So I mean, not to diss on other YouTubers because they're all really good at what they do, but it's also like, well, I'm in 4K and my arm doesn't hurt like really that bad. So my rig is, you know, pretty good, I'm gonna say. And it just pops right off. I have a phone case that's actually really rugged and really nice for the rest of the time. This is a Rokform phone case. This little pouch, it looks like a pouch, but it's not. That's a magnet, all right? There's all kinds of different uses for that. And they actually do have a little dot thing that you can attach to your car that I probably should have been using a long time ago, but I've never bothered to attach it in my car because my car is a lease and I know I'm giving it back eventually, so I just haven't done stuff like that. But it is a magnet. It's a really super high power magnet. It's a Rokform case, Rokform. It is a very sick case. I love it. It was like $60. I was like, okay, fine, I'll buy it. And I bought the one for my Galaxy S7. I have the old one for my Galaxy S7. If anybody has a Galaxy S7 and you want a case that's the Rokform case, hit me up. I'll sell you mine, alright? I'm running a torrent in the background, you guys, and it is done, so I want to close it so it's not using up my connection. So there we go. We're going to be watching a movie with wifey for Christmas Eve. Me and wifey going to enjoy Christmas Eve, watch a movie. And then later tonight, you guys, I have got a Mewtwo EX raid at 10 p.m. That is in 5 hours from now, you guys. So set your alarms. 5 hours from now, I will be doing a Mewtwo EX raid, no doubt about it. And I'll be live about 45 minutes early so I can try and keep control of the gym that the EX raid is at for the team that the player who I'm playing for is on. So that's going to be really excited too, you guys. 5 hours from now, set your alarms, make sure you subscribe, make sure you bell the channel, all that. Although I assume everybody who's watching right now is subscribed and belled because this is like one of my, you know, more boring streams compared to my other stuff. But anyway, you guys, it's going to be really good. Alright, you guys. Bike Race King, I would really prefer if people did not stop commenting, because that's actually really bad for my stream and it will make people not get recommendations for the stream. So I would appreciate it if you don't play games that involve getting everyone to stop commenting, and yeah, that would be great. Like, wow, that should be self-explanatory. Alright, welcome to the mod squad. Keep the chat lit, don't, you know, keep the chat like unlit. Anyway, guys, what I'm doing right now is actually syncing up my footage, and then I'm gonna move my footage around. Wifey doesn't like to be on camera, so I'm just gonna crop her right off the camera there. And then there is one spot where I say hi to Wifey for a second, so there she is. And then I'll turn the camera right back to where she's out of there. She likes it that way, so that's the way she likes it. She's like coming in here now to spy on my editing. I knew she would. Oh, don't worry, I cropped you out. Anyway, guys, everybody put RIP Bike Race King in the chat. Alright, you guys, rest in peace, Bike Race King. You played a dangerous game and you lost. I don't know what to say. I mean, that is definitely not what I want to be happening in the chat. Anyway, Mrs. Golden Fisherman, yeah, it's gonna be midnight for you. I mean, it's 10 p.m. for me on Christmas Eve, but I'm like, hey, you know, whatever. The EX raid is actually in India, so I gotta get the cords and do that whole thing, you know. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get the cords. Now what I'm gonna do here is hover over this clip and it tells me the duration. You guys can't see some of the stuff that I'm seeing on screen. What it's doing is telling me the duration is 32 seconds, which is a little bit long, and it's just a video of me kind of like driving past some cool stuff in Davis. There's actually some really kind of cool sights to see. So I'm gonna speed that up. We're gonna add a clip speed of 1.5. just to speed it up a little bit. I generally only do 1.5 and 2x on clip speed. I don't go any higher than that, and I don't go 1.5 is a nice even number, you know, 2x is a nice even number, but I did kind of an arbitrary number on that first clip because I wanted to get to a specific time length. And what is up to Michael Golden Fisherman, Mrs. Golden Fisherman? Dude, they are like stream sponsors, married couple, YouTubers, and they just, you know, love supporting my stream, and I love having them on my stream, so make sure you give them both a sub. Mrs. Golden Fisherman is playing Animal Crossing on her live stream series right now, and I've been trying to tune in for every episode that I can tune in for because I'm trying to stay engaged with that game, and she's actually keeping me pretty engaged with it, so that's pretty cool. And Michael Golden Fisherman, my main man, is playing the Pokemon Go, of course, so go ahead and give him a subscribe as well, you guys. Thanks for being on the stream, you two. Renz is also watching. Thanks, Renz. Alright, you guys, let's keep on editing here. I'm trying to get this thing edited and online, like, today. I want to get it online, like, now, because, well, what the heck is this? Oh, I got out of the car. I'm like, why is it, no, this looks weird right here. When it's quiet, I'm like, it shouldn't be quiet. It should just be like me talking the whole time, but I got out of the car. That's like my classic Jonno move. I'm like, oh yeah, swag, I'm gonna get out of my car. I'm like, I don't know, like, I have to put something in the video, alright, you guys? I have to do something. So anyway, that's kind of part of my format. I have been doing that for a little while now. And then I locked the car, but it was like so quiet, and I'm used to Southside Park where they have the freeway right there next to us, so it's like super loud, and the car horn kind of scared me. I was like, whoa, that's loud. So I wasn't used to it being so loud. Anyway, I don't know if you can see it on my face. You might be able to see it on my face. We'll see if in the editing, if we can see it. Now I want to go see here. Normally it's weird that there's still audio at the end of the clip. Usually it's silent at the end of the clip, so I'm like, what was happening there? I don't know why there's audio at the end of the clip. Maybe it's a little bit of wind or something like that, because it's weird that there would be that much audio at the end of a clip. Usually it's quiet. Alright, you guys. I'm just editing, throwing some clips together. Honestly, this doesn't take too long if I just stay focused and grind it out, but sometimes I'll do a live stream and it takes me like 2 hours to edit because I'm like just talking and talking, so that's why I'm trying to stay a little bit focused here. But I do want to say Merry Christmas to everybody. Merry Christmas, you guys. If you guys want to, you know, post up like what you're up to, what's your, you know, Christmas Eve plans, I am going to tell you guys my Christmas Eve tradition. You guys want to hear my Christmas Eve tradition? This is a family tradition that we've had in my family since I was like a teenager, basically. You guys, I don't know, put a 1 in the chat. You guys want to hear my Christmas Eve tradition? I'll tell you guys. Upscaled 4K at 30 frames per second is a terrible experience. Yeah, I don't know why you would upscale it. Mine actually is 4K, but what they've done is got a curvature on the lens. So you have a little bit of extra, like if you look at the side of my footage right here, it's a little bit warped, like that tree is not sideways, you know what I mean? So if you look at my, like this tree is not sideways, you know what I mean? So what they've done is it has a little bit of curvature on the lens, so I am accomplishing 4K, but the extra on the side is like, it's like the full 4K, it's like the full shot that is actually possible. And then the new GoPro Hero 6 has 4K 60 frames per second, and yes, I do want to upgrade, but I think it's worth mentioning I am one of the only, I think I am the only Pokemon Go YouTuber that uploads my videos in 4K, and even though, you know, it is not like the full, you know, GoPro Hero 6 experience that I wish it was, it's still pretty darn legit. Anyway, that's my little rant on my camera. It's still a good camera, darn it. Okay, you guys, you want to hear my my Christmas Eve tradition? Now, this is a tradition my dad didn't start with me and my brothers until we were a little bit older, alright? I'm not gonna say that we were full drinking age. We had a little bit of a European mentality in our household, you know, like we would occasionally get a sip of wine or something like that. So it was just kind of a classy household that we grew up in. But our Christmas Eve tradition, Dad loved to give us a shot of whiskey, alright? What can I say? Dad was just, he was just a crazy old guy, alright? I love Dad. So anyway, on Christmas Eve, we would all do a cheers. Now, me and my brothers were old enough to know that there was no Santa, so we would stay up late with Dad, and then Dad would eventually be like, look, you guys stayed up so late playing video games and goofing around. I'm gonna go to bed, but I need to put out the presents, you know, because it looks like Santa came in the morning. Sorry for all the kids, you know, if you're, I hope that there's no kids watching. I don't think the kids are gonna watch the edit video and chill stream, but if they do, you know, anyway, this is life. So, we would stay up, and you know, Dad would be up, and he would, you know, be filling the stockings and putting out some of the Santa presents, you know, and then he would be like, all right kids, let's do a shot of whiskey. So we would do a shot of whiskey with Dad. That was our Christmas Eve tradition. So I am gonna do a shot of whiskey later in the night, but not on the stream. I think that's against terms of service. Wifey's trying to talk to me, and she thinks that it must be really important to interrupt my family tradition that I'm trying to tell you guys about on my Merry Christmas, Wifey. She's like got the real holiday spirit. All right, is that later today? It's up to you. I don't care. She just thinks that it's really important. All right, you guys. All right. Anyway, I'm editing my video here, and I'm chilling. All right. I am editing my video and I am chilling. Anyway, you guys. Oh no, my 9-year-old bro is watching. Well, sorry. You know, but I should have told you guys. Spoilers. We're gonna tell a Santa story. All right. I'm gonna continue editing though. So what I have up here is a bunch of B-roll. All right. And these B-roll clips are like me catching whalmers, mostly me catching whalmers. We were in the whalmer nest, so I was filming a bunch of whalmer catches. All right. And I'm gonna put those somewhere over these different clips, right? But I'm trying to match up the ones that are long enough to go over the section that they're supposed to cover. So we'll see how that goes. And I'm gonna speed up the clips so that they actually fit a little bit better too. Alright, here we go. And I do have a lot of clips, so I might have to cut. They're basically all whalmer catches, so I'm just going to be catching whalmer like the whole time. So it's like I may just have to cut some of those clips too. So we'll get to the point where I figure that out as well. I know, sorry if I scarred anyone for life. Sorry guys. Brandon, thank you Brandon, yeah. We all know that it's Delibird who really brings the presents on Christmas morning. Come on, guys. Everybody knows that. Alright. I gotta zoom in a little bit because I really can't see that well. So I am going to have to add some clip speed to a bunch of these clips, and I'm probably just going to clip speed all of them the same, just to keep it simple. Alright, clip speed. I think I'm just going to throw them all at 2 and make them nice and short so that they actually fit. You know, I could probably do 1.5 on that one. Alright, and this actually just gets them to fit over the space that I want them to fit over. So that's a little bit better, and then what I'll do is trim off the excess that I don't really need so that it's just nice and like to the point. Like, oh, I caught a whalmer. Oh, I caught a whalmer. I know, are Pokemon real? I know. That's hilarious. Juan Saldate. I don't know. I've already spoiled enough. I feel I feel bad. My son saw Santa driving past us. See? I'm just saying, you guys. What do I know? Alright, you guys. Maybe it's because me and my brothers were so bad that my dad knew that Santa wasn't coming, so he would just give us Santa presents because he was like, dang, you guys are so bad. He's like, I know y'all are on the naughty list. Maybe that's what it was. Alright, there's my out. Alright, you guys, I gave myself an out. Alright, now what I need to do is actually add some assets. I'm getting to the point where I'm almost done with a bunch of the little work that I need to do, and the one thing that I find so annoying, and it's my least favorite part of the entire process, is making my intro. The very first time that I ever did this format of video, I just slapped together my intro with a couple of different things happening, and I was like, hey, that's good enough, let's publish it. Alright, you guys. And then that just became my intro. It's been my intro since forever. People say they like it, they think it's the right length. It was too long at first and they said shorten it, and I shortened it, and now apparently it's the right length, and I think that people like it. So anyway, I have to like hand create the intro every single time. Like, I wish it was simple like at FSUATL's channel, where he just has the one intro that plays with the dubstep music and it's like blah, FSUATL, and I'm like, dude, that'd be so much simpler if I would just do that, but I can't. I'm just addicted to my process now that I've been doing it for so long. So here we go. I'm gonna make my intro. Alright, you guys, intro involves a couple of logos and a couple of PNGs. I'm gonna open this up for you guys. Alright, this is a PNG. It looked purple, but what it is actually a transparency. Alright, you guys. Now, every time I explain what this is, I have to open Photoshop. So I'm just going to open Photoshop. Alright, and I'm going to throw this transparency into Photoshop and show you, approximately, you know, what it is. Alright, so you see how you can see through? I could actually give it even less opacity. It's just opacity, you guys. I'm scrolling down the opacity at the top right now. Alright, so I scrolled it all the way to 0 opacity. Opacity is just how well you can see through something. Now this is already at like 30% opacity, so let's say if I was to duplicate this layer, eventually I could duplicate it to the point where it was just a solid blue. I made so many layers that I actually basically went through the opacity and turned it into a solid blue. So it's basically just like a 30% layer of opacity or something like that. It's such a simple thing to accomplish in Photoshop. You just make a rectangle. Alright, I got the rectangle tool. I have made myself a rectangle. This is a white rectangle. I am going to lower the opacity on the rectangle, and now I have an opaque box. And what you do is you save that as a PNG. So once you're done doing all your edits, you save it as a PNG, save as, make it a PNG. Alright, it's a really simple process. You just make it a PNG, save it, and then you have an opaque layer. So what I do with that opaque layer is I throw it into my intro, and then it becomes like this kind of a sheen. Alright, I'm gonna show you how this looks now that I've like thoroughly explained this thing like more than I probably even need to. I'm gonna just show it to you. Alright, so I take the exact same footage, and look, now it looks like it's blue. Look, now it looks like it's red. Alright, it just gives it kind of this extra kind of like modern look to it. And you guys notice I use blue, red, yellow. Those are the team colors. I'm gonna throw in the team logos as well, and that is my intro. Then I put a couple of clips of some like footage from my episode, so people get like a little teaser of what they're gonna see in the episode, because they know it's gonna be litty like skitty every episode, but I still try to show them a little bit of something just to let them know like, hey, this is what we're gonna do today, you know. And then I try to not put everything in the intro just so you have to watch the episode to really see what happened. Now, where is my Mystic? There it is. Alright, Mystic logo right there, secured. Alright, there we go. Now I'm just gonna lower these guys down to like 2 seconds. There's a bunch of on-screen tooltips that you guys aren't seeing. I'm actually seeing the duration of my clips as I'm editing them, and I know how many seconds approximately that they should be. So just so you guys know, that is part of my process, knowing how long each of these clips should be, because like when I said like this clip is 24 seconds, that's it's that reason, or it's that way for a reason, because I want it to be a certain length so that people don't be like, wow, this intro is way too long, or okay, that intro was like short and I have no idea what I'm about to watch. So at least it gives them an idea of like, hey, here's what we're gonna do today. Alright, so that's kind of cool. We go through the basically the team colors, and then what I'm gonna do is grab, you know, probably a couple of clips. I don't know what exactly I'm gonna grab and put in the intro. I'll probably figure out the intro as I keep on moving, but at least now I've got a bunch of the pieces of the intro in place, so at least it's not such a daunting task. I've got like part of it put together. I really can't stand doing the intro. It's like, it's the part, because I have to be like, man, what did I really do? It's the part that I have to be most creative, you know, like I really have to think about what I'm going to throw in that intro to make it compelling for people to want to watch. But I did get some Pokedex entries in this episode. I did some cool stuff, so I'm kind of like, let's see what happens. Alright, now this is interesting. Every once in a while, I'll be zoomed in and I selected these 2 clips, and for some reason when I zoom out, look, it shows this clip is also selected, and I'm just like, I didn't select that clip, so now I have to Control Z and undo everything that I just did, because I'm like, why did it select that clip and then make that happen? I don't know. It's an error in the program, and I knew it was doing it because I tried to move these and they wouldn't move, and they wouldn't move because this other one has no room to move. So that's how I finally figured out that glitch. So that is a glitch in this program, and the people who make this program really need to fix that because it's incredibly annoying. And I have actually like selected 2 things, and then I zoom out, look, it just selected all this other stuff. So I've made like huge changes to stuff before, and then it was doing it to all these other clips, and I come back, I zoom out, and like all my clips are gone, and I'm like, what the heck happened? It's because I like zoomed them out or something. Illusionist9870, thank you for the $5 donation. Dude, the hot 5 in the chat, thank you so much. Dude, that is lit. Illusionist, one of the new watchers. I stream in the evening sometimes, and Illusionist has started watching, so thank you so much for being on the stream. I really appreciate it. Bye, Grace King. I'm sorry I had to time you out, bro. Hopefully I explained it. Alright, PokeGirl7 is here. What is up, you guys? Keep it PG7 like PokeGirl7, alright, you guys? She's like, so not PG7. I was thinking about that the other day, though. I was like, dude, PG7 and PokeGirl7, it's actually like the initials. I'm like, that's actually kind of funny. So that's going to be my new joke. Alright, keep it lit. Donation hype. That is pretty darn lit. Nice. I'm drinking my coffee, you guys, but it's not warm anymore. And I'm like, dang it, I really wish my coffee was warm right now. Alright, so you guys will notice that I have audio on my game clip and I have audio on my face cam, and I like the audio from my phone better, so I keep the audio from my phone. That's just a personal preference. So yeah, I'm gonna match up these clips. I'm gonna do the same thing to this clip. Sometimes I'll zoom in like all the way just so I get them exactly lined up, because I don't want my face cam to be like unsynced with my mouth, you know. I don't want my audio to be unsynced with my video, because then it looks like I'm talking and it would be all weird. So I make sure that I sync those up pretty much perfectly, but I've got it down to a science with how I do it, so I get them matched up really quickly. It really doesn't actually take that long. I always thought that that would be a hard part of the process, and it's actually like super quick, so it's not that bad. Now what I'm doing here is trimming the silence off the end of my clips. Alright, just trimming off that silence, and then I'm moving a couple of clips to fill in the B-roll. Both of these clips can have some trimmed off the end. I can usually take some trimming off the end, because at the end of the videos I always have my screen recorder. I'll like pull it down. There's another one there. Alright, so I can actually trim that right there, and I don't trim anything that I actually want to see because I catch the Whalmer right there. So that's good. It's nice when I can actually trim them right where I want to trim them, and I don't have to pick. Like, I don't like to cut anything, you guys. I really don't like to cut anything, because it's like, what's a few extra minutes when I get to tell the full story, you know? And it's important to me to have it all out there so that when I go back and look at this stuff later, I don't miss anything and I don't forget anything, you know? So, because I want to have my memories too, you know? Like, I don't mind making a 20-minute video, because I'm gonna go back and watch that when I'm like older, and you know, I'll have my memories and be able to be like, yeah, that's what we did that day. So anyway, that's important to me, and that's why I include so much extra stuff in my videos. And sometimes my videos are pretty long, you know, but I have learned to kind of cut them down a little bit and shorten them, and or like if I have like 30 minutes of content, I'll make like 2 episodes that are 15 minutes each instead of making a 30-minute episode, and you get more views that way. It's important, you know, to manage your views. You want to get like good views on the content that you produce, and if you make a 30-minute video, it's really unlikely that people are going to watch all the way through that 30 minutes, and it's actually a struggle for people to do it. So then, you know, you want to break it up into more digestible pieces so that you can get the views, and also so your audience can really, you know, see what they want to see. So that's important. All right, guys, I'm actually almost done here. I got a lot of stuff put together. We're gonna have to do transitions. I still need to do my intro a little bit, and I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with a couple of these B-roll clips. I might just get rid of some of them because I have some extras. I know I filmed one clip that was a double Makuhita, and I'm probably just gonna trash that clip because it's a Whalmer episode, and I thought it was cool that it was a double Makuhita. I'm like, hey, double Makuhita, lit. But I'm like, dude, nobody cares. Like, let me just trash that clip. So I'm trying to find that double, like I need something to cut and I remember that that was in there, so I'm gonna cut that for sure. I'm just trying to locate it. Is it this? Oh, it's this long one. Okay, it's the long one, you guys. So let me get rid of that. Now I actually, this one is like actually lined up, so I'm not gonna move those ones. I'm just gonna move something else. I'll just bring this one over here. Let's see what this is. That is a Whalmer, so that's just fine. We can leave that one there. Alright, these guys are probably both Whalmers. So let me go ahead and line these up. Eventually I'm going to add music as well. That's going to be my next step. I usually add music last because you get so many files on the editor that it starts to get a little bit bogged down. So alright, I'm going to take, I know I need to get a lot of cut, so I'm going to cut all of that. And then I'm going to see how much I need to cut off of this one. After I catch the Whalmer, I basically don't need the rest of this clip, so I can cut the rest of that too. Good. Alright, there we go. Those two are nicely matched up. I'm going to save. I haven't saved in a while, so I just did a quick save. Control S. That's important, you guys. You want to make sure you save your work. I'm going to line this. Well, this clip is pretty well lined up. Everything's lined up there. I'm just checking my lock lines to make sure that everything's lined up correctly. This one is not lined up, so I need to get that one lined up, and I might even have one back here. I don't know, something's out of place right here. It's not locking on the, there we go. Like it should lock on both sides. Alright, now I need to line up this one and we're basically good. I probably have some that I can trim off of the end of this. I have to like actually watch the clip. It's me catching a Whalmer, of course, and then I like to see what's right at the cut point. If I were to cut it right there, I don't lose anything, so I'm just gonna go ahead and cut it right there. So there we go. Saving again. I'm gonna start saving obsessively now. I'm gonna be saving a lot because these are minor details that are gonna basically save me a lot of time. So what I don't want to do is think that let's say I lose my progress because the app crashes, which happens sometimes. Well, then I don't know what I did or what I didn't do, and I have to go through the whole process again to try to remember, so it's really frustrating. So what I do is I just save obsessively, so if it does crash, then I always have a really good copy to go back to. Dude, thanks for hanging out, everybody. Dude, actually like 46 watching. That's pretty impressive that you guys even sit here and hang out with me and watch. Alright, I really gotta do that intro. Okay, I know what's gonna go in the intro. You guys, this is the point where we're gonna get spoilers, alright, you guys? So I'm just saying, if you guys really, like, super do not want spoilers for the episode that I'm about to post in about 30 minutes or 40 minutes or an hour, depending on how long it takes to process, then you know, you may want to watch out because I'm about to start posting spoilers. But it's stuff that's already gonna be in the title, like stuff that I'll probably put in the title, so you would already know it from the title. So I mean, it's not really that big of a deal, but I'm just saying, like, this point forward, there will be, like, the rest of it will be spoilers. So I'm just saying. I don't know if people really care that much. Do you guys really care that much about spoilers for the episode? I think it's fun to know, you know? I think it's kind of cool. I'm just drinking coffee, you guys, and I haven't, like, eaten a lot of food, so sorry, excuse me. Alright, so let's, somewhere back here, you're the one, Whalmer. You're the one. Oh, you guys already know what it is. You guys already know what it is. You already know what it is. Alright, so that's gonna go in the intro. So what I did is Control C, Control V. I'm deleting the bottom, and then I'm silencing it. That basically gets it ready, and then I'm gonna throw it up here in the front. Alright, and then I need to go find something else. Now, I did Pokedex a lot of really cool stuff, so I'm just telling you guys, about to be yeah, see, there he is. There I Pokedex some stuff, you guys. I'm just saying, about to be spoilers up in here. Oh, wow. Just trying to get back to the point where, all right, that's probably good enough right there. I'm trying to think of what do I actually want to put in the front. I think what I'm gonna do is bait it just a little bit, because right here when it's the shadow, you don't really know what Pokemon I dexed. So it's gonna be like, what Pokemon did he dex from the intro? I try to keep the intro a little bit, you know, you're like, wait, what is that thing? You know? So then it'll just show like maybe the fins, you know, like that's, but how long is that? Now I gotta see how long that is. Is that only like a second? Yeah, it's only like a second. Okay, that's not long enough. So let's go, I guess, you know, we can't make it that baity because I only have a few seconds, but I guess I don't have to show that they're Pokedex. And then when it's Pokedex, maybe you guys will see. I don't know, because it's always hard to choose what am I gonna put in the beginning, you know what I mean? Alright, so that's probably all I need, just a few seconds. We'll grab that. And then right after I did that one, I did the Curlia as well. Poke Girl, you got evolved. Spoiler. Alright, Poke Girl, just so you know, you got evolved. This was my perfect Poke Girl 7. Yeah, here, boo? Text me where you're going. Before, okay. Alright, there we go. Poke Girl, you got evolved. It's gonna be lit. That animation sequence was a little bit longer than the other one. Doesn't it seem like it was? It was a little bit longer. Alright, I'm gonna throw those up front. Alright, all these guys need to get clip speed of 2 because they're a little bit long for the intro, and then I'm going to start to arrange them. Alright, we're going to arrange these guys. This one's a little bit long. I'm like, where does it go? I really want to show the actual Whale Lord, so I'll probably trim off the beginning. Alright, so that's where I'm going to cut it right there, because that's what I actually want you to see. So then, it's like it doesn't really matter what's in the beginning, how much is in the beginning. I want you to see at the end, right there, boom, and then it's going to flip out. So that's where that one will go in. Alright, and then these guys are a little bit longer. I get more space on the second clip, so I want to match them up to where they both look like they're going, like they're evolving at the same time. So I need her to be at about the same position on the screen as that one is, and that's where I'll know where to trim it. Alright, so then when I meet these two together right there, they basically should like they're evolving. Yeah, exactly. They look like they're evolving at exactly the same time. I mean, I just eyeballed that, you guys, and was able to do it. So that's just how much I edit my videos like the same way kind of all the time. So that process gives me a little bit of like I can do this quicker, you know what I mean? So what I'm doing is I'm just swapping my tools up here at the top. This is the cropping tool right here. It took me so long to find that thing. I used this program for years before I found that thing. This is the selection tool, which you can use to resize. If I were to try to resize while I'm cropping, look, you just crop it right away. Goodbye, it's gone. So anyway, Control Z, I don't want to do that. I just want to shrink these guys a little bit. That's a little bit too much actually. I'm going to move this one over here and tilt it to the left. I'm going to move this one over here and tilt it to the right. And what I try to do is tilt them the same amount, which is very difficult to do, but it can be done. And then I try to get them the same distance from the edge, also a little bit difficult to do, and then I just drop them down in here. I'm going to put behaviors on all these guys so that they kind of wobble and do some stuff, but I'm not going to do that until I get all my clips, and I don't have the clip for right there. I usually try to do a game clip in this part of the intro, and then a game clip on the next part of the intro, and then a face cam clip of me being kind of excited or something like that on the next part of the intro. But I didn't really do anything particularly like exciting on this episode. Like I didn't make a crazy face or like do a dab or anything like that. So I'll probably just get some footage of me and Wifey like walking, and when I evolved the seal I showed Wifey, so I'm gonna like take advantage of Wifey being my lady and put her on the camera, so people will be like, oh, this is an episode with wifey, I want to watch now. Alright, so there we go. Let's go see, where did I evolve the wall rain? There we go. So I showed wifey the wall rain while it was evolving. There she is. Oh my god, my little goof. I may not use it. We'll see if I use it. It's alright. I'm just trying to think of like the episode, and I'm like, what else could I put there, you know? That's where this is tricky, because it's like I don't know exactly what I want to use, you know? I'm gonna give it a 1.5 clip speed, and then what I need to do is grab some of my assets and grab my daily adventure asset. That's just a big, it says daily adventure in big letters. So there we go. That's all it is. I have these pre-prepared, and then I'll just shorten this down. I want this to be at least like 4 or 5 seconds. I mean, it doesn't take that long to read the word daily adventure, so yeah, you know, it's not that bad. Alright, you guys, so all my assets are in place now. I need to make sure that they're all sized correctly. Like my logo right here is particularly small. Sometimes I'll forget to make it bigger, and then it's all small, and I'm like, whoops. These two assets are basically the same size, and they need to get stretched out a little bit bigger. These guys are already tilted. This one is also tilted. This one has not been resized or tilted, so I need, or it doesn't tilt actually, I just need to put a behavior on it. Alright, so there we go. I'm going to throw us down in the corner over there. This one is about 5 seconds. It's a little bit long, so I could probably shorten it. I don't need like an extra 5 seconds on the intro, and then we can just make daily adventure a little bit longer. And there we go. Alright, so now a couple of these guys are going to get behaviors. These are behaviors over here. They just make them like look a little bit more interesting. So we're going to make those ones kind of stack like that. They're going to like wave basically. And then these ones are just pulsating. So they'll just kind of like go in and out like that. It's just movement. I mean, video is all about movement. So any kind of transitions or extra movements that you can get are good. And then we are going to add transitions as well. This is the flip transition. We're going to transition that one with flip. And these ones get circle stretch. And then I always shorten this intro transition because it's a little bit too long. And that's basically the adjustments that I make. And then I always match up all of these together. So this is interesting, you guys. Notice that this transition is right in the middle of this logo. So it actually makes a pretty cool effect as I go through the see how the circle stretches around the logo, so it changes from blue to red while the Team Red logo is there. It's kind of a cool effect. I do that on purpose. It's just something that I really like. And then it changes to yellow right here behind my logo. So it's just kind of a cool little thing that I do. And then I actually like for this one to stretch from behind the daily adventures so that you actually get it going into like clear mode right there, so you can see the picture with no distortion. So that's kind of just an effect that I do, and it keeps the eye interested throughout the intro. So you can see here it's like transition, 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 transition. It's like so many transitions, so your eye is just very pleased. There's a lot of things happening in the intro, and you're getting a lot of information, so you basically are like, okay, cool, this is about to be a lit episode. So that's what the intro should accomplish. It should let everybody know that, yo, this is about to be litty like skitty, and that's what my intro does. So there we go. Alright, you guys, so now that we have finished the intro, we gotta add music to it. So let's go over to my assets. I keep all my music blocks here. This one says drops in the beginning. When I initially downloaded this track, I liked it because it had drops in it. This is just the track that I ended up using for my intro, simply because it had a drop in it, and I have always used it ever since then. So what I'm doing right here is just turning down the volume. This is my transition out of the intro into my gameplay, and because during this scene I'm just on the map, there's no gameplay music, so I'm actually going to let the intro music play behind me talking through that whole time. Now you guys, this is an interesting thing that I just remembered. I always remember it right about this time. I like to take all of my audio, these are all of my clips that have audio, I'm selecting every one, and I like to turn them up to about 160% or 150%. I find that if you go higher than 170%, it starts to really blow out your audio. All right, you guys, it starts to make it sound like your speakers are blown. All right, so you don't want to do that. I usually go to about 160, just keep it safe. But what it does is it gets my volume louder than the music, and it also just boosts the volume a little bit better. So yeah, and also Merry Christmas to everybody, you guys. Merry Christmas. I'm curious if you guys actually have any Christmas traditions. I would be curious to hear about those. You guys have any Christmas traditions that you want to tell me about? Who's got a Christmas Eve tradition, you guys? It's Christmas Eve. Pokemon Go NYC is here. Dude, Pokemon Go NYC, thank you for tuning in, my man. Oh my god, that is amazing. Yes. Alright guys, so I do have some Christmas music that I'm using right now, and I was thinking about it the other day, and wifey was like, I was like, I'm not going to use the Christmas music, and she's like, dude, there's only 2 days until Christmas. It's not going to be appropriate to use the Christmas music after Christmas. You can really only use it from now until Christmas. And I was like, you know what, right, wifey, you're a genius. And so I've been using the Christmas music on my episodes, so we're going to use the Christmas music, you guys. I got 2 of them here. I downloaded these from YouTube with a little app right here that is called 4K Video Downloader. I love this thing. It downloads really high quality videos. You just paste the link and then it will download. Alright, so that's super lit. It's a really good program that I use. So I downloaded these, which means that they have got video attached to them. So what I have to do is select both of these guys. See the video here in the center now? I just have to right click those, separate audio and video. This is really handy. I use that every once in a while, and then I just delete the video, and now I've got some audio tracks. It's a little bit of extra work, but it's just a quick and dirty way that I can actually get some tracks to listen to for holiday stuff. So anyway, that is how that works for me. Now what I need to do is edit my audio levels. So what I'm going to do is right when my intro song starts to really fade out, which is right after the second little bump, this little itty bitty bitty tiny bump right there, I can see that, and that's what I'm referencing. So then I'm just going to turn this guy right here down, alright, and I do it that way because that gives me a transition. It slowly turns the music up right there, and that's going to be right about the time that my clip ends. So I do that because it's a little bit classy. So then we want this to go to about 22%, that's about right. And even though it shows this thing going on and on, there's no audio there. It's just silence, so that really doesn't matter. But I'm going to shorten it anyway, just in case. And then my music comes in right here, and then I want it to go out, but I want it to play for just a little bit longer through this clip. So we are just gonna cut it off right there. I try to pick a point where the music is obviously breaking. There's like a nice big drop right there, so I figure that must be a good point in the song to break it. So then I'm gonna do audio effects over here and just fade that bad boy out. And then since I've already put down my 2 points, I can drag this down to 22%, and I've got the song coming in right here, and then it plays at full volume during the B-roll, and then it fades back out, and then it fades out after I've been talking for a little bit. So you guys should have a little bit of extra music right there. It might even be too long on the extra music right there. It's a solid like 16 seconds of music there. So we'll have to play that and see how it sounds. But for now, we're just gonna run with it, and then we're gonna do the same thing right over here. Alright, so we're gonna fade in the audio, and then add the 2 points right here, and then turn it down to about 22%, and then I'm gonna add the 2 points right here, and then split the track right around here, add my fade out, and then I can turn down the volume. I mean, this is a really quick process, and I basically know that it's gonna sound good because I've done this so many times, so it's pretty easy for me to put this together. Now, one thing that I do to keep it interesting is I break up this track. I've got a little bit of this track left, but I've got a really long B-roll right here, so I'm gonna throw a totally different track over here and play that track for a couple of clips. And then before we end, I'll come back to the original track, and it just kind of like solidifies the video and gives you a nice kind of full circle feeling for the video. So that's one thing that we're gonna do creatively right now. Let's go ahead and do that. I like to pick a good breakpoint in the song where you can tell the song obviously picks up, like right here. So it's a good time to turn it up right there. So I'll just do like a really short intro right there. Alright, do like 22%. I'm really relying on what the audio levels look like to tell how this song is going instead of actually listening to it. So once we listen to it, we'll see how well we did. But I've worked with this track before, so I think it's going to be fine. And then we'll break it right around here. Fade it out. Turn it down. There we go. Alright, and remember my break line is right there. Even though this clip isn't as long, this clip keeps on going. So that's where my break line is. Alright, turn that bad boy down. Now I split the track. I got a little bit left to use over here, and we're going to use it up. Alright, let's go ahead and turn that part down. Now this track, it's at the end of the track right here. It has its own fade out, so we don't really need to fade it out on the end. So we probably won't do that. And I usually just pick an arbitrary start point, you know. It's fairly arbitrary. I just let the music start playing a few seconds before the end of my next clip. And then we need to... Sometimes I will drop my cursor. See, I've got that line right there, and then I drop the audio points on either side of the line, and that tells me that it's fading out during the correct time. So that's an easy way to get your eyes like a visible place to actually do your work. So sometimes that can be helpful. Alright, so that track faded out, and it is now over. This track is going to fade out right there. And I'll probably use the rest of it, honestly. So I need a little something something to stick right here in the middle, or right in that track right there. So I don't know exactly what I'm going to do. I'm probably just going to duplicate this one right here and use the end of it. I'm going to pull this back up to 100. Alright. See, it's got all my edits from the other pieces, so I'm just deleting all these edits. All these little points right here. I just want to use another piece of the track aside from the end, because I'm using the end right there and it's a nice little fade out. So what I want to do is not use that end and just use something a little bit closer to the end that sounds more generic. So we're going to use like that little piece right there. Alright. Now one thing I'm going to have to do is actually listen to all of this, which means I got to turn down my background music that you guys are hearing. So I will turn that off once I get into review mode, and I'm going to review all my footage and see how my edits look and see if I did a good job. But basically this is my process, you guys. This is pretty much my process. I got a couple more steps here and then we're almost done. Alright, gotta make sure I didn't miss any donations. Alright, I did not miss any donations. Dude, big shout out to Jeff King, who donated 20 earlier. He said Merry Christmas. That is my Christmas gift, you guys. That is the best Christmas gift, dude. Getting the donation on the stream, I love it. Alright guys, I gotta add some transitions. I make it really easy on myself with the transitions, and I just add a fade to everything, and voila, I am done. You know, like, I don't like to make it too much harder on myself than that, because the transitions can really eat up a lot of time. But one thing I do is I'll just make sure that the transitions fade in at the same time. See how it's fading in right there, and there's like a little tiny like black bar over here? That's because this transition is not as long as that transition. Now you do still get that black bar, but not for as long when I shorten each one of these. But it's really not worth doing because you still get the black bar, so it's like it sort of doesn't matter. It's just a little tiny part in my process that I haven't gotten figured out. I'm trying to figure out how to make that not happen. But I don't know. It's a little bit annoying actually, but it's not the biggest thing in the world, you know. So it's kind of like whatever. I don't worry about it too much. So okay, here we're at the final point. I'm gonna save my work because now we're actually gonna watch it. So it is actually gonna possibly crash the app. Sometimes it has crashed the app before, but I gotta close my music, and we're gonna watch this thing and see how we did. I like to zoom in while I'm watching because it seems to make it play a little bit better. So we're gonna zoom in just a little bit better, and then sometimes I'll pause it and I'll start it back up, and I'll pause it and start it back up and watch certain points and just make sure that they're going correctly. Alright, so here we go. You can see the render speed is a little choppy, that's why I'll pause it. It doesn't like to render the transitions. See, it really gets stuck on the transition, so I'll just like stop it. Sometimes the position on where I stick stuff, it'll block like stuff that I actually want to be seen in the video, or I just won't like where I put it, so I'm just gonna move that around a little bit. But I'm stopping and starting it myself, you guys. That's me. I'm doing that on purpose.
What's up, you guys? It's Jonno.
It's such a quick thing, but when you watch it slow, you really see it, and that's why it bugs me. I'm the only, it's like you'll never really see it when you're watching the video, although maybe you'll see it now since I kind of talked about it, but it's like, you know, it's not that big of a deal. Sometimes I obsess over it a little bit too much. Sometimes I'll shorten these all to be the same length, but you still see it, you know?
What's up, you guys?
You still see it, so it's like, why bother? You know, it's a lot of extra work to make all these the same length as each other for no reason. So anyway, it's not that big of a deal. I've actually pulled this one back before too, and then I'll do it right there. And they do fade in at the same time when you do that, but you still have a black box. It's just like there's no point, you know, like of obsessing over it. There's little errors aren't that big of a deal. I bet if I used a more professional editor, I probably wouldn't have that problem, but this one's cheaper and it gets the job done for me. So yeah. Anyway, you guys, thanks for hanging out, everybody. I really appreciate it. Guess he's gonna make a Christmas compilation? No. What? Renz is just like guessing over here. No. You can sponsor, but you need PayPal. I don't think you need PayPal to sponsor, although you can do it with PayPal. Thanks for hanging out, everybody, though. I really appreciate it. What I'm doing is editing my daily adventure from earlier today. All right, this was my daily adventure earlier today. Now, I don't really need to watch every single clip, so what I'm just doing is making sure that the audio sounds good.
Oh, Will Lord, it's also another amazing gym defender, so you're going to want to do that as quickly as possible. So, let's go ahead and get started.
Because I'm streaming, it's like maxing out my computer right now, so it may be lagging my face cam. But everything looks good here. I'm just gonna zoom. I think I can see the edges of some of my clips, which because I'm so far zoomed out, I really need to. I don't know if those black edges are going to be visible in production when it's done, and I always worry about that, but I think I am going to trim them off. I'm working in full screen right now because I need to see some stuff in a little bit more detail, so you guys will have to bear with me for like half a second. I'm just trimming some of these sides off because when they're like sideways like that, they sometimes they show this black line on the side, so it's not what I want. So alright, but yeah, anyway, I'm just editing my daily adventure. If you guys are just showing up for some reason, I am just editing my daily adventure. I'm just making sure that I can actually hear myself over the music.
Gym defenders, so you really want to catch as many as possible, and if you don't have a Milo tick, or rather, if you don't have a feedback, then you want to be walking Wilmer. But if you have a Feebas, then of course you want to be walking Feebas. Alright, you guys, I'm going to show you some of the area around here, and we'll see what it's like to play in Davis, California.
The music is pretty good. I really liked it when I found that song. It was a good track. Alright, now this is a different track.
Until it's time for her to evolve like a month from now when she finally gets all the candies. Alright, we'll be back.
See, that went to all black. It shouldn't have gone to all black. Yeah, see, look. Right there, my clips are not quite matched up. Something happened there. I'm just going to extend those two clips. It should never go to all black like that. That was weird.
And she can keep those until
and I'm saving.
Her to evolve like a month from now when she finally gets all the candies. Alright, we'll be back.
I'm just going to move the music a little bit further back.
With good IVs, and then she can keep
and I'm saving.
Until it's time for her to evolve like a month from now when she finally gets all the candies. Alright, we'll be back.
That was a little bit more smooth. Right when I'm done talking, the beat hits. So it just kind of has that feel of everything's moving right on time. Right when I get done talking, the beat hits. And then I gotta make sure that it sounds good on the way out too. Check this out, you guys. We are just here walking. Sometimes I'll zoom in and just make sure everything is good at my transitions, because like that one just now, they weren't even connected. I'm like, I don't even know why that wasn't connected. You know, that was weird. So
you're gonna get a lot of spawns in this park, but some of them are not on Pokestop. So I just want to mention that it's very worth it to hit this corner and the corner on the other side of the gym.
Sometimes it bugs me that the music keeps on going and you can hear the game music. So I'm trimming the music here, and then I'm going to give it a fade out right there, so you just don't hear it for as long, because you really don't need to hear it for that much longer while I'm talking. And it's probably going to be the same over here because it goes on pretty long. So
yeah, it's pretty decent. Alright guys, we'll be back. We're going to catch a bunch more Whalmers, and I am going to evolve a Whale Lord at the end of this video. So we'll see if I get a good one that's worth evolving while we're out here in the nest today, and we'll be right back.
It's a pretty chill episode, I must say. I can tell when I'm like more chill on other days than like some days I'm really lit. It was chill. Alright, you guys, so I wanted to do a quick little clip over here at the end of the park. You can see behind me there's like this chain link fence thing. This is basically the end of where Whalmer, I cannot talk today, where Whalmer spawns. It spawns all the way over here in the distance. You can see where I'm touching my screen, and it goes all the way through the park, but it does not cross the roads. Basically, when you get to roads, that was fine. The audio there was fine. It wasn't great, but it's the end of the song anyway, so it's already kind of fading out. And if anyone is still listening to it, they might want to hear that last little bit. So it's kind of like, whatever. That was fine.
5%.
And I'm saving.
Picked up, just kind of hopping around this nest. Anyway, guys, a lot of clips today. We're going to be farming this nest and just catching so many Whalmer that it's ridiculous. I'll be back, and we will do that Whale Lord evolution.
See, it did the same thing right there. It went all the way to black. I don't understand. It's weird. Oh, you guys, there was turkeys. Okay, so this is like where I placed this earlier in the episode, and I didn't know what I was going to put it over. And now I realize it's covering my turkeys. So I'm going to twist it the other way and move it to the other side so it doesn't cover my turkeys. Alright. And that's another one of the things I got to check. I got to make sure that I don't cover my footage too badly. Those turkeys were lit. And then it switches to the other side, so that's actually kind of nice. That's a nice little effect since there's two clips on that one. I gotta make sure this one didn't cover anything too, because I filmed turkeys twice. I wanted to zoom this footage, so we're gonna actually zoom this footage too. That's under animations. I wanted to zoom into those turkeys, so we're just gonna zoom the turkeys. We're gonna zoom them pretty far in, and then center it up, and then I delete the top one so that it actually keeps my footage like right there. And I'm gonna squeeze it all the way over to the side because it is actually covering one of my turkeys. I think I'm gonna put it over on this side because it was covering one of my turkeys and I don't want to cover them. I think the turkeys are cool, that's why I filmed them. Alright, And then what we do is we just stretch it so it lasts like the whole scene. So it'll just be like it'll just be like slowly zooming in. So it gives an extra layer to the clip, because I'm basically just holding the camera still, but then zooming the footage gives a little bit more of the video feel, you know, that you want to give. It's a little bit more action on the video. That's actually what I did on the Europe video for wifey's footage from Europe. If you guys noticed, near the end of the video, all I have is photos, but I'm just zooming the photos. It's just a little camera trick to keep it more interesting for the eye. So there you go. I'm literally almost done, you guys. I'm just reviewing these last little bits of audio and making sure that I don't cover up the main scene in my B-roll, making sure that I don't like cover up like what you're actually looking at. So see, look, I wanted to film the sign right there, and I want to make sure that I actually give them a little bit of spotlight, because I love this spot. They're like such a cool local spot. So I'm like, I could basically put this clip over here and it will never cover the sign because of the way that the shot travels. So there we go. Because it travels from right to left, so I put it on the right, and then as the sign travels through the shot, then I don't cover it, because I don't want to cover it. That's why I filmed it in the first place. So try to avoid making little mistakes like that. It's like you ruin your footage by covering it. And then this one is back on the left, so it kind of does that trick like I talked about before. It goes from right to left. I was really trying hard not to film that family. They walked out of the door right while I was filming, and I just pointed the camera at the ground so I wouldn't have to film their faces, because I don't want to just film these random people and their kids, you know, like while they're just trying to go to the store. So it's like whatever. And then I'm trying to put the Jonno mobile in the episodes just a little bit more, because I'm like, I do have kind of a sweet car, you know, so I may as well, like, you know, show it off a little bit. Yeah, Jonno's flexing. Alright, Jonno's flexing on the episode. Flex it up, Jonno. Merry Christmas, by the way, everybody. I can't say that enough. Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas Eve. And I hope you guys are going to enjoy your Christmas Eve, you know, whatever you guys are doing. This is what I'm up to. I'm going to get an episode published for you guys so you can enjoy it. Did a little bit of organic gameplay today. Alright, you guys, that was all of my audio.
Alright, you guys, I am going to do a little bonus clip here at the end of the video.
A little bonus clip for you. Spoiler alert, we did a bonus clip. I actually didn't get that many spoilers in here. So you guys, that was it. That was my whole edit. Now all I have to do is choose my 4K preset and publish this bad boy in 4K, which I am about to do. So, yeah, I'm going to do one more little look through and make sure I'm not covering anything in my shot that I actually want to show. And I really think it looks good. I filmed just the right amount of B-roll. You know what I mean, you guys? I filmed just the right amount so that I have, you know, a couple of catches that you guys see and a little bit of footage from the scenery of like what the area looks like, so you can kind of get a feel for like where this actually is and what it's like to be here. See, this one I covered the playground. I don't want to cover the playground. See, this is the last little things. Like I was just about to publish, but I'm like, well, don't publish yet, because what if, you know, you covered something that you want to show? So I actually did cover something that I want to show. So there we go. This is a little bit of walk footage. Covered my hand. I mean, is it the end of the world? No, it's not the end of the world. This park has this little U-shaped hill, and I really couldn't figure out what it was there for. So anyway, that was kind of strange. Anyway, guys, we're done here. I am going to get this thing published. So that is pretty much the stream. I don't want to start rendering it while I'm streaming because it might wreck my stream. So I'm going to go ahead and do my outro and, you know, just be out of here, you guys. So I appreciate everybody for subscribing. Make sure you guys subscribe to my channel. I'm sure everybody who's here is already subscribed. I hope you guys enjoyed this content. I wanted to make sure that, you know, I keep it coming for the fans who are budding YouTubers. I know there's a lot of people who have told me, Jonno, I was inspired to make my channel because of you, or because of Nick, or because of, you know, Reversal, or all these people that are, you know, they're really big fans of these people. And I just want to make sure that I put out, you know, more kind of inspiring content content that helps you guys along your journey, not just inspiring you to be a YouTuber, but helping you actually make that dream a reality. So this is my process. This is how I literally bring you every single episode, and it's hopefully going to be useful to you along your journey as well. So that's going to be the end for this episode, you guys. I'm going to get ready for another stream. I actually have no idea what I'm going to do until my EX raid, which is in like 4 hours, and I'll probably just stream something else in between now and then. So that's gonna be the plan. You guys can probably expect to see a stream from me like real soon. I'm gonna process this episode, upload this episode, and basically by the time you see this thing going uploaded, I'm probably gonna go live again. So that's gonna be what you can expect from me on the channel for tonight. And in 4 hours, I am gonna be doing an EX raid. I'm gonna be doing a Mewtwo raid for a fan. I'm really excited about that, and hopefully I will catch it. Yes, you guys, this is another EX raid for Felicia. Little Felicia has got another EX raid, and she wants me to do it for her and get redemption and catch the Mewtwo. So if you guys were there for the last Mewtwo episode, I wasn't able to catch the Mewtwo for Felicia. If you want to go back and rewatch it, it was like one of the most devastating experiences of my Pokemon Go career. Couldn't believe it happened. And hopefully I'll be able to get Felicia some redemption and get her that Mewtwo, and you know we're going to max it out with rare candies if I can catch it for her. So that is going to be the end for this episode, you guys. Thank you everybody for watching. Thank you to my amazing subscribers. Thank you so much for hitting that subscribe button and dropping a like before you bounce out of here. And